Hello, hello, folks. Told you it wouldn't be too long. We are back for more action here because these are best of threes. I promise you more. You're definitely gonna get more. TNC one game up, Kips, but you boys, they're not through to the finals yet. They've still got to beat Detonator one more time if they want to secure that spot. And there's an interesting draft underway. Do you know what the draft is?
I've taken like a quick look.
Yeah, but I mean, you're taking a quick look. If you're taking a quick, take a more defined look because I've never seen Ricky called Brewmaster before. But that is
Neither
one
have I.
that's one hell of a hero. Look, how do you see him? How do you click him?
You do not. Like this is, you thought Blur was imbalanced. This is even worse.
I've seen this. No, I remember the good old days. My favorite one was Ember Spirit. So if you remnanted and then Shadowbladed as you remnanted, you were literally unseeable.
Nice.
Yeah, so we've had things like that
Anyway,
in the Dota game.
All kidding aside, though, there's been a Beastmaster pick, and I am way more excited for Beastmasters.
Well, we got both masters. Yeah, master and master. Like no Doctor Who versus master here, just two masters going at it.
Wait,
But
the
we've also
double
got
master
two.
draft after the double assassin draft?
Yeah, but they're split. They're not on the same team, right? It's not like Brewmaster. Can you imagine Brewmaster plus Beastmaster?
Yes.
I could see that working.
It sounds real good to me.
Maybe I could genuinely get behind that. I think it wouldn't be terrible.
Same. So, shall we get into it? Because Rubik has also made it through. And we have seen Lodak pick that hero mid yesterday. We have seen TNC pick Beastmaster position 5 yesterday. It's very tempting to say that this is an offlaner and a support, but Detonator are on the ropes here. They could just decide to do one of those things, both of those things, all of those things.
There's a possibility. I mean, TNC's looks a little bit more definitive. I think that's the thing. Dene is looking at this first phase. They have flexibility of picks.
Yes.
Whereas TNC, you look at this, it's like, okay, this is Brewmaster's either going to be a support or he's going to be the free, and then Lich is just a support. There's no doubt on that.
Ninja Boogie's had some great times on that guy. I think it's good that TNC is sticking with more of what they know. Yesterday, when they started experimenting, they went straight off of the road. So, and here is Detonator deciding that Terrorblade is a pretty good hero. Let's just go for it. They banned out the PL, they banned out the PA.
And immediately, Morphling will be the response. And I know you're a big Morphling fan after seeing Raven run it yesterday.
I'm a big fan of anything Raven pulls out, but the Morphling especially, yeah. And I have seen Gabby Morphling, and that is also a treat to watch. So, yes. And this is a bit of an interesting matchup, because although Morphling always outcarries a Terrorblade, like, on an individual level, the problem is that Terrorblade ramps up faster, and the Morphling is way more vulnerable to straight-up counterpicks. We have seen, well, both TNC and also Detonator yesterday run the Sam H, so the offlane Shadow Shaman.
Yes.
And they go for Undying this time.
All of that, Shadow Shaman struggled to get the lockdown, but that was for different reasons. Of course, we did see the Abaddon picked as a buffer for the Morphling. There are a few choices in that regard. You can look at the Abaddon, the Legion Commander. That would, if you went that way, that would confirm that TNC are running this Brewmaster as a support.
Yes. But they can wait with that a little bit, I think, although they don't have the last pick. I don't think there's space for a Shadow Shaman in the Detonator draft anymore. So with this Undying pick, they're basically saying we think that with the Beastmaster and the Rubik, we have enough lockdown, and they might want a Blink Dagger on that Rubik as fast as possible for the instant lift.
Yes, and of course that's the thing, is like for TNC they could still look at something like an Abaddon, because as you mentioned, Beastmaster plus Rubik. With Rubik's new Arcane Supremacy, can a Morphling afford to be stunned that long? If he gets surprised and he doesn't hit the Morph button, he's screwed.
Yes.
So he could do that kind of, that rebuttal, that backup, in case that does occur. Because it's likely. I mean, you can build a Lincolns all you want, but Rubik plus Beastmaster, they've got the abilities to pop Lincolns and then pop you.
Yes. It does not suit Rior, though. But they are waiting with the reveal of the Rior or Tim's on Brewmaster pick, because this is an Armel Timbersaw.
Is indeed. We have seen this ran by TNC. It didn't go well for Armel. I believe it went well for the rest of the team, though.
Yeah, he tanked up a whole lot. He wasn't that impressive, but he did his job, and that was really all that was necessary. And I said that last game, I'm gonna say it again. I always admire it when, you know, players can play for their team instead of for their hero. So he was such a huge damage sponge, and then the Morphling, excuse me, it was an anti-mage back then, just came in and popped people.
Yes, that was it. That was I believe, the anti-mage Dazzle matchup.
Yeah.
Start of the game, which we won't talk about. That was interesting enough itself.
Out of respect for the Dazzle.
But the Timbersaw pick is that this hero, I think people seem to misinterpret what it does and what it is. It's kind of like the Broodmother logic, but not as threatening. It's like Broodmother's going to hit Taz if you ignore her.
Yes.
Timbersaw's just going to farm if you ignore him.
Yeah, but he's gonna farm behind your tower, so his creeps are gonna hit your tower.
But it's a slow creep. It's not like this huge burst of damage on towers. So like the point I'm gonna make is, you can either invest a crap ton of resources for that kill, or you just kind of look to shut down whatever he's trying to create space for, because that's usually what a Timbersaw pick is doing.
It is the space creator. Nobody clears waves like that hero. Like, he is basically untouchable if you play it right, because you're always going to be tanking those creeps. You're always going to be stacking up those reactive armor charges, or how would you say that? Stacks.
Yeah, just reactive armor stacks.
Stack up the stacks.
Stack stacks. Stack your layers.
Stacks.
Layering your stacks. There's a bunch of forms. All right, screw that. We're not here. This is an English lesson. This is a Dota match, and no Dota match would be complete without a ban or a pick on an Earthshaker, because this is tear in my eye, Kip. What happened to this hero? Why? 7.20 comes around and everyone's like, well, this ain't a POS 4 anymore.
I don't know. And I love Earthshaker. It's such a great hero. He requires such a good feeling for not what's happening right now, but for what's going to happen. If you want to become a master of anticipation, all you got to do is play Earthshaker 100 games in a row.
I think the way I've heard pro players put it is, yeah, like the difference between tier 1 and tier 2 shakers is like, tier 2, they'll make the hero look decent and at least balanced. Tier 1 players, like the best shakers in the world, make that hero just look freaking broken. Like completely unreasonable.
Aha!
Well, you were saying that Detonators did not have room for a Shaman pick. However, TNC, they found a way to just squeeze it in.
Yeah. And I gotta say, Terrorblade also really hates this hero.
I can imagine. You get down to half HP, you're like, alright, I'm going to sunder someone now. Good luck with that. At the same time, it draws attention away from the Morphling, right? So we talked about the Beastmaster and the Rubik, and how they really want to stun up the Morphling. But for Shamans, they're shackling your Terrorblade for like 4 freaking seconds.
You need the disables on him instead. Like, the only way in which this is a decent matchup for the Terrorblade... Oh, look at that.
That deals with the Timber pretty well, especially because I was looking at this so far. I was like, what's your matchup?
And this is also... how to say this best? Detonator has 2 ways of proxy pushing now. So they can push with the Pugna, with the TB illusions, and they don't have to be on your tower at all. TNC has only 1 way, which is the Shadow Shaman. And oh, that's going to be a Tim Shadow Shaman Desiree or Brewmaster. So they did sneakily swap out at the last possible moment. Yeah,
this isn't going to be the core Shaman that we've been seeing a lot of at the moment. Instead, they are going to opt for having a Brewmaster as their core, which can contest the Terrorblade. Pick
partially caused that. Like,
you're too squishy. Like, it's kind of the point. Is like, you look at what TNC have as their cores right now. They are quite tanky, quite hard to burst down.
Yes.
And if you picked a Shaman against the lineup that Detonator have, he's going to be first priority every fight. He's going to be found, and it's going to be worthwhile because that is one of your big investments on the side of TNC if he runs as a core.
Well, let's find out if Rior can play just as sacrificial as Tim's did in the first game. Because he has some people to make space for, and he has some people to keep off of his cores.
That is true. But of course, you know, the difference is, we said for Tim's it was kind of simple. A little bit of gold on him, a little bit of XP, he dies whatsoever.
Yeah. This is a rougher balance, but that's what you're the core player for, right? More responsibility, more investments to do it with. Great power.
I thought it was just enjoying hitting creeps and the sound of gold, but apparently there is more to it. We'll discover just how much, as we are now ready to get underway with Game 2 between these two teams. Heading into, looks like, yeah, it should be the Shaman starting with the Brewmaster. I was wondering if they were going to try and switch this up a little, but then again, I honestly prefer Lich plus Timbersaw, right? It's just this casual zoning out.
Yes. And with the ice armor on the Timbersaw, do you really want to trade with him?
That's true.
If you want to kill with that, you can. Just chase people down with the chain and the ice armor.
And it looks like Denez, they're going to actually end up matching up Sam H here with it, which means the Beastmaster is going to struggle to find value unless he can find the Lich. Personally, I'd expect them to stick Fly solo down here, as opposed to RR, just because Strength Hero versus an Undying is like double gains. I mean, you can just leave him on the Brewmaster. I just think there's a lot more aggression on him in that lane.
The Terrorblade should be reasonably fine, even if he's getting pressured, although... Did they just decide to switch things up?
It looks like it. The Brewmaster should have been seen. The ping's actually coming out. They see Fly solo top as well. I believe we are about to initiate a game of Dota musical chess.
Those feel so bad if you're playing them as a team.
Don't get me started.
Don't want to switch. You really do not. But
I remember
no
the start of this year. I think the worst one I ever had was a CIS game where they switched lanes 6 times in the first 4 minutes. There was some serious commitment to good matchups there. But eventually you kind of realize that you've lost the exchange of getting better matchup and you just have to accept it.
Yes. And that doing everything else is just making it worse. So we see Sam H and RR on top. And they're going to face off against this... Well, they're starting off try again with Tim's hidden in the trees. Hoping for that first blood.
They can easily make it happen.
Yet.
The pings come out. Sam H going to be the target here is the question. RR has the lift is the problem. They can't go for the Beastmaster. They need Rubik to step close enough.
You see by their positioning that they suspect it.
Yeah, Shackle's now coming out. They're going to move in with the Frost Armor as well. The shield is getting Sam H pretty low, but Beastmaster is a strength hero, pretty tanky. Looking to dive the tower. Rio taking way too much damage here. And actually, RR, Fade Bolt coming off cooldown now. Not enough damage done to kill off the Brewmaster.
So it ends up just being an exchange of salves, but that does mean that the Timbersaw has had a rough start here on bottom.
You can already see it. Undying has got up in his face. We said he'd look for this matchup against... Well, either lane has a strength hero, but if you want to make a Timbersaw killable, this is the way to do it. Actually, he's getting stupidly low.
Oh, snap.
He has to be careful. Fly Solo's only halfway to level 2, but at this stage, if you get your hands on a Soul Rip...
Yes, and Gabby only has 350 HP right now.
Doesn't feel very nice. Let's just put it like that. 16 strength storm being just maintained. And it's just those first few creep waves. They want to make sure Terrorblade gets a great start because this is a hero that once he does have that, he tends to just sustain himself.
Yes. And he does have that start. He's 7 and 6 right now. He's denying everything he can get his hands on. And Gabby has had 2 last hits.
And it should be emphasized, like, what we're actually seeing here is the effect of an Undying against a strength hero. Because it's not just the health that goes down, it's your damage as well.
Specifically a solo strength hero, because Ninja Boogie could have been down here from the start, but...
Gabby? He might go down at this rate. Decay's coming off cooldown. It's going to be close. He gets enough strength back just in time. That's a little bit too close for comfort, though.
Don't get close to the creeps, Gabby. Don't do it.
Yeah, Flood Solo just got Soul Rip a little bit too late. Of course, the catch is he's doing a lot of pressure. He's running out of mana. And meanwhile, Ninja Boogie! With this salve, he dives the tier 3 with a haste and finds the Courier. That is one way to do it. Well, that'll pay off.
You beautiful human being.
Well, Armel needed it, though. You look at the mid lane right now. Ben here is dominating the CS.
Yes. He was getting absolutely right.
Ninja Boogie with the big moves. Gives a much-needed boon to his mid.
Yeah, and I mean, they had something to make up for as well, because those resources spent on top at the start had disastrous consequences in the bot lane already.
But once again, first rune proving it can decide so much. Gabby! He's going to go down!
Oh,
the Soul Rip with the final attack from Raging Potato, and he draws the first blood.
I'm getting flashbacks from the first time Detonator and TNC faced off.
He was skirting a fine line there. I think he was starting to feel safe because you look at Fly Solo. He'd already in his last Mango. He was practically out of mana.
And with Undying, that first time you run out of mana, you really want to have done something with it by that point.
Oh, he most definitely has. And Gabby is still feeling the pain of it all. Fly Solo is probably just trying to get himself low on HP before he goes to deny himself to the tie. He's already on the move. And it doesn't look like Ninja Boogie's going to read it either. I don't think he can afford to go chasing is the bigger issue.
They have missed out on so much
the scan?
on this bot lane.
Ninja Boogie. Oh, Fly Solo, he's going to be caught here. He's going down and he knows it. It's inevitable. Ninja Boogie, he scanned to reveal that.
Mike is really on top of his game right now. I am loving this.
Fantastic start for the past 5 of TNC. Really showing what he is capable of. That haste for the courier and now scan to get himself the solo kill.
And it's all done on game sense, right? He just knows the limits of this game so well. And he's a lich. He doesn't have any resources himself, but he manages to pull out this much just by cleverly being in the right place at the right time.
Tim's not in the right place. Definitely at the wrong time. As Sam H is getting low himself. Rio's going to chase through. No. He hasn't got the Drunken Brawler. He can't get in range. Still have 5 seconds to wait. Sam H will live and walk away on barely any HP.
And this is the only lane that is going somewhat well.
RR though. Let's go for the TP. It may be too late for that. One more tap. No. Rio doesn't get the crit. TP back to base is successful, but barely.
At least Armel is starting to catch up on this mid lane.
That's true. Runes are even as well. And like I said, Armel is starting to get back into this. Tanking big Never Blast, but knowing he can live life on the edge because Pugna... Well, he has this burst, but he doesn't have this consistent damage that he can harass you with.
Exactly. So you know very clearly when he's going to hit you hard and when not. And by now Armel can also throw back these adaptive strikes to whittle his opponent down. He's not as vulnerable anymore as at the start.
Fly Solo. It looks like he's just trying to mirror any movement that gets made by Ninja Boogie here. Armel needs to be careful. The Soul Rip. Soul Rip. Can they go for it? Nope. Not enough damage.
Oof.
He hit the morph button just in time. Ballsy play, but doesn't pay off for the Undying here. Fly Solo, he's not having the impact we usually see him. Like, he got the first blood, don't get me wrong. But now you can already see him trying to like make this follow-up play, because at the moment, Undying feels like this hero. You need at least 2 free plays early on.
Yes, and Raging Potato is trying to get up in the face of Gabby, but here you find out that the matchup is just not actually good one-on-one. Gabby can do whatever he wants in his bot lane now.
Yeah, he's reached that point. 4 is really the kind of turn point. Once you've got 2 points of reactive armor, plus you actually have your harass, you can start to trade pretty effectively. Just stand in the creep wave and laugh at people.
That's exactly what he's doing. It doesn't matter if that's a Terrorblade or not. Fly Solo really needs to stick to this bot lane if he wants to keep the pressure up.
He brought more mangoes. He can apply pressure once more. They'll need to. Gabby in a little bit of trouble. Memor's been used. They're moving in with RR as well, but they don't get the lift. Gabby will move away in time. Celebratory mangoes are being eaten as well. As is custom when you escape inevitable death.
He very cleverly cut his way through the trees there. If he didn't do that, I think RR would have actually had the range.
Pugna's in trouble in the mid lane. Hex comes out. They got the shackles as well. The shotgun down from Armel.
Splat.
The rotation he needed, and they knew that they could leave Rio alone. They knew what was happening around the map. After they saw that movement bot, suddenly Brewmaster is never going to be pressured by Beastmaster alone.
And they know, like, Gabby knows from the start of this that
Tim's?
this is unblocked.
He's in trouble. They ignore Gabby. They actually go for the easier kill.
That is uncharacteristic. Like, I was going to say they know they're just going to leave Gabby alone and he has to deal with, you know, getting all of this pressure on his own, which is great. You can do so much on the rest of the map, but Tim's TP's in... What?
Armel?
This is where Coach Kips goes.
Well, he's... Okay, so he's gone for the build that involves no points and waveform, which it was surprising against the Pugna, because you're going to need an escape from the life drain. I guess he was relying on the adaptive strike, but because Morphlings like to use that to farm,
yes,
you're likely to get caught out here.
And now the Nether Ward is down.
And now the pressure comes on, and Ben-Hur, he's going to be able to take this tower around 8.5 minutes. Oh, the deny?
Denied.
But that still makes Armel's lane harder here.
Yes, Ben-Hur can now go do whatever he wants. He can farm jungle, he can rotate. And we've seen Tim's have the freedom of movement before, but now it's the enemy mid that has it, and that's very dangerous. And we see him move into the top lane almost immediately.
We do indeed. Pugna making his timings. Rubik going to an untimely death in this bot lane, as actually Terrorblade has backed away from the lane, identifying there's not much kill opportunity here onto the Timbersaw anymore, and he can just farm jungle. Meanwhile, Benno moving in, Life Drain comes out. All 3 are away. Look how close he is to level 6 as well. They need that for the turnaround opportunity. If they just get 1 creep killed, he can do something. But instead, Pugner's going bot. They're sick of Gabby just doing whatever he wants.
And they can trade off here now, both of them blasting away.
Well, actually, if Gabby's not careful, he's in trouble here. RR, he can go for the lift if he wants to. They actually drop the ward, moving in the Decrepify, the Life Drain, lift back. They've got Gabby trying to move away. The Timber Chain is going to be closed. No! The final tap's not going to be enough. The reactive armor is going to heal him up. And that is a little too close for comfort, as Gabby, he has to walk this off. He doesn't have a TP. All the while, Rio on the top, he strikes and finds his kill on Sam H.
He got his one.
The split
Last creep.
being effective.
There is a Terrorblade here, though. Is he going to find Gabby? Is Gabby going to die to this Undying, slowly waddling after him?
The pings are coming out, but Raging Potato isn't even interested. Terrorblade says, me need farm. Me needs reliable farm. Definitely will die.
Not the kind of farm that will just walk away from you and laugh about killing trees.
Exactly. Especially seeing as he didn't even have the mana for the Metamorphosis. He has a clarity on him for this very reason.
But right now...
Fly solo?
There's pressure on the bottom in the meanwhile.
Yeah, right now, Detonator is going to lose one of their heroes, while another one takes a free tier 1, as no one is in this bot lane defending this.
And Tim's is waddling his way back, if he didn't spend his TP so
Armel's coming.
before.
Like, Armel's also coming. This could be a kill opportunity, but they realize it's going to be too slow. Runes are more important. This is kind of the drawback of having a Morphling that still does not have boots.
Yes.
I think he has them on the way. Yes, finally. I think he realized after that long slog down to the bot lane, it's like, this does not seem very efficient anymore.
Well, you gotta have space for those Wraith Bands, yo.
That is true. Only 3, though, because he did get the 1. Otherwise, it definitely would have been 4.
Yes. And now Rior is up to defending this top lane. I would have actually liked to see Gabby go up there, because it's clear that this is going to be the next target. There's only 1 Outer Tower remaining.
Primal Roar coming out. They're moving on the Brewmaster, but they can't do enough. The Frost Shield slows down Sam H as well. They think twice because, of course, Terrorblade is still in the neighborhood. And Rage Potato, Ninja Boogie's learning how hard he hits. If he gets hit one more time, he's dead.
Right.
Sam H. He hasn't got the Hawk.
Cancel his TP.
Chain Frost bouncing out. Hits on the Raging Potato once, but can you chase this? Rio's going to try for it. The Frost Shield's on him. Raging Potato trying to move away. Gabby's here as well. Out comes the Chakram. Moving forward, but Soul Rip will keep him up and allow him to escape. Timber Chain through. Gabby's not just done yet. He really, really wants this kill. But now Ben here is here. Life Drain keeps Raging Potato up. A little bit too close for comfort. And a mini Terrorblade emerges as Armel. He's living the dream. This is farm time for a Rubik. For a Morphling, rather.
Yes. This is what you pick the Morph for against the TB. You get all of those illusions for free. No mat styles needed. And then you also get this amazing Metamorphosis.
Indeed, and of course that does last a decent chunk of time when you consider what Metamorphosis does, as does the Shackles in the mid lane that enables a kill to fly solo, who is riding solo in the middle of nowhere. I mean, he had a tier 1 still up, but still. The Undying is just desperately trying to find levels. He knows how big of a power spike 6 is with the new Flesh Golem giving you so much extra HP to work with.
Ooh, the Rubik stole Serpent Wards. When did that happen?
That is a good question, because
I
Tim's used it 60 seconds ago. I've not seen this either. I've not seen a...
I haven't even seen where he used them.
Was it bot? Was it when the fights were going on elsewhere? That's the only thing that makes sense right now. Because that bot tower is gone.
I guess so, yes. He must have been split pushing bot. Because Depugna TP top to help out with the fight. And then Tim's was walking to that lane before we saw that.
But so far, this is looking fairly even, actually. Well, I say even. Let's be totally honest here. TNC, they've dispersed their gold better, you could argue. But I think the bigger thing to look at right now is how Terrorblade is just taking the lead. And actually, the game is back underway.
Nice.
But that's the big concern, right? Like, Terrorblades, rarely do they lose when they're ahead. Primal on the top, Rio. Life Drain just going to burn him down. He's going to fall. Gabby tries to fight up against Ben here, but he doesn't give a damn. And suddenly, Gabby on the run realizes magic damage actually hurts a lot and reactive armor does nothing for him. Purify comes out, the Fade Bolt through from RR. Brings him down, gets sniped out.
Rubik plus Pugna is such a potent combo. As soon as the BKBs come out, you feel totally useless. But
yeah, but until then,
until that point,
Shaman, he's gonna go down. Armel moves in, finds the kill under that Rubik, and now moving through Sam H, trying to target Ninja Boogie. Needs to be careful. Chain Frost comes out, bounces around. Bender gets a little bit low, but there's the waveform through. Armel trying to find a kill here, morphs into the Agi, feeling safe. Decrepify comes out, gets him scared again.
Oof.
But he knows the numbers. He fell for it once, not again.
He's got to be very careful because he had some stacks on him as well from the Undying.
I think the thing to look at there as well is you stop the aggression, you do find a kill on Rubik. It's decent, but I'd say Raging Potato got just as much gold out of that while you were doing that kill. Because he was just farming bot on this Terrorblade.
Oh yes, and Gabby dying there is very inconvenient. He's working his way towards the Yule Scepter, but he'd also like the casual hit booster on the way.
Yeah, he's going for the... It's actually building into a Vanguard.
Huh.
So, this has been one of the interesting changes is with the change to the Bloodstone. One of the big reasons people would pick this up on this hero is not just the regen factor, it was the denial aspect.
Yes.
Because you get so much XP and you get so much gold on Timbersaw because you go uncontested. And the whole point is that you don't want to give that over. But now you start to see different builds with the changes that come out of the Bloodstone. And suddenly Shackles and Wards down. Raging Potato has been found. No points in the Sunder either. He's not protected. The Life Drain cannot protect him. Benner moving in right now. Tims dodges out the Never Blast. They actually commit the Tombstone on the high ground. No one can deal with this. Tim's going to go for the TP away. Won't make it though. Fadebolt does enough damage with the zombies. Decrepify coming out to Gabby trying to move away. Oh, left. Stops his Timber Chain. Oh, Def's going to go out. Don't think that does enough though. And there's the Prime Royal. They commit the damage. Finally, it is there. RR with this Arcane Supremacy. Just 1 point. Amplifying the damage so much.
It was a great use of resources there. Just 2 heroes, just the 2 supports, killing the Terrorblade. I don't think there was any reason for Gabby to come in at all. He doesn't need to die there. But, you know, there's a fight, and he wants to join.
You're a Timbersaw. You got a party. No one can kill you, right? You're this impervious hero. But this is the kind of questionable part, is that we saw him go for this pick up of the Vanguard.
Yes.
And your biggest threat is actually not the Terrorblade right now. It is the magical damage of the side of Detonators. Like, if anything, he needs magic resistance. He's going for it next, but I think by the time you have that...
Yes, I would have definitely opted for the Hood first instead of second.
Because I think when he does get it online, then actually it switches back again. Like, he's Benny Hillsing his build, right? He's dealing with the physical. Yeah, he's Benny Hillsing it, right? He's dealing with the physical when magic's a problem, and then he's going to deal with the magic when physical becomes a problem.
And Rior is done with getting blown up.
He's angry. He's looking for something. Can he find it though? Sam H moves away. Like a thief in the night makes his escape.
Well, he might be able to use some of this ult on the mid tower if he's fat. No,
he can't. They actually have to abort because reinforcements coming in. That stolen wall and death doing so much work here. Or Chakram rather.
That goes the Lich.
Amplified damage. That actually hurts a lot. And also, it combines really well because, of course, you use the Chakram, you slow people down, the Life Drain comes out, and suddenly, there's no longer a hero. There's just a splat on the floor where they used to be.
And there will also be an Undying chasing you, stacking decay on you. It is a brutal assault that's going on right now. And all the while, Raging Potato just gets to mop up creep wave and be content with his life.
Gabby? He's gone again?
Oh, Gabby, baby. What is you doing?
He's not learning his lessons.
I feel like I said that yesterday as well.
It seems like things are rinsing and repeating as Detonators are taking a lead in the second game.
And here you can see the proxy siege.
Uh oh. Not so proxy, just find the kills instead, makes the siege much easier. The Chain Frost gets blown and doesn't really do anything. It at least gets rid of the creep wave. But that's not exactly the big impact you're looking for. Now Sam H moving in, just leading the way. And just poke and prod. Ben here is running out of mana, but not out of time. He's looking on the Life Drain. Rio, he's going to go down. They forced the buyback of the Shaman, looking to move away right now. Trying to TP into this. Timbersaw wants to fight, but they are moving away too quickly. This is a fast undead child as Pugna makes his escape. And all the while, guess what Raging Potato has been doing?
Farming, split pushing.
This seems all too familiar, Kips. It's almost like we see this man, like if there was a heat map. No matter the game, no matter the side he starts on, this seems to be his zone.
Yes, he is going to be over here, no matter what he's doing. And TNC is making, well, again, the same moves that we saw the last time as well. Things go bad for TNC, they go rogue, and we were criticizing Detonator about this yesterday. They do not realize when TNC goes Roche. I didn't realize when low tech went Roche anyway, but TNC was even more consistent about it.
It's going to be worrying as well. They have got time to interrupt this, but I think they're going to be a little bit too late now.
This is the kind of thing that, you know, people often ask me, what kind of things do you pay attention to when you're looking at a team? And this is exactly the kind of...
Oh, they're coming in now. Split's going to be used. Real wants to stop Terrorblade from coming in. He brings it down a little bit too early. The roast should be finished. They're moving in right now. Flyside can't get in there. Time the prime more too late. Armel, he picks up the Aegis. Tim's on the side. Should be falling though. Ben here. Going to turn around. Look at the Morphling. Brings him down once. And his reinforcements are gone. Suddenly Armel, he's not feeling so in control of this. Hexed up the immediate moment that he revives, and he is dead again.
He could not morph anymore. And Ben-Hur gets a nice little bonus kill on the side as well.
He finally runs down Tim's and finds him, and that is worrying. You pick up the Roche. It's a little bit too close for comfort. And don't forget that Tim's, he bought back on that.
Yes. This should have been Gabby's window to make as much space as possible. And instead he's been going in and dying.
I mean,
he has the hook
let's not
finish
sugarcoat
now.
it. He is irrelevant at this stage.
Yes.
This Timbersaw doesn't do anything. Except give good spells over to a Rubik that uses them better because of the amplification. It's going to be a whole lane going. Detonators will move away. They say take control of this area. Take the shrine, then push bot. Look for more because, of course, they are feeling in control.
Yes. Their vision is not ideal for this. It's a little bit conservative, I would even say. But with Rior has a Hand of Midas as well. He's moving into the Vlads now, but that was also a pretty big delay. So TNC is really ramping up too slowly, and they might just lose too many buildings before they're ready.
They might lose more heroes, actually. They see Timbersaw. They're moving him right now. They drop the ward. There's the Crab Fire. They zap him down. Can they lift him in time? Yes, they can. The Life Drain should burn right for him. Gabby hexed up to make sure no escape. They'll find the kill on them.
Can you imagine that you had that hood for the previous 10 minutes? Because it took so much longer to bring him down this time.
I mean, I don't think I can imagine that, because that would involve imagining Gabby not dead. Which is like, I'm good with imagination, but give me something realistic here, Kips.
That's what fantasies are for, right? But I don't think this is a dream. I think this is very real.
This Chain Frost is a nightmare. Committing one like that, that is just screaming, get the hell out of my base, I don't want you here. Reflection slow it down, but Life Drain on there. Now the Primal Roar Morphling! The Soul Rip gets rid of him. Real with the split. Though this is one of desperateness. They need to make a play. Buyback comes out from the Morphling. Now the wards get committed as well, but the BKB and Raging Potato looking to move in. Trying to get rid of the Earth Panda as well. On the side, it looks like the Beastmaster finally going to go down, but no one wants to touch his Terrorblade. They're trying to ignore him right now. Retreat's going to come out. Gabby trying to chase forward, though. Going to get them low. Raging Potato needs to turn around the sun. He'll get it out in time, but Gabby protected by the Frost Shield. Real going to clap here. The gaze drags in Terrorblade. He's going to be going down. Now Ben-Hur being chased on do as well. Can they get him? Timber Chain across. Ben-Hur turns around, just trying to harass him down a little bit, but the Adaptive Strike stuns him way too long, and that is the moment where RR says, abort, I am out, and barely makes his escape as Tim's looks the wrong side of the tree.
But that was not good enough for the Pugna to get out. Huge turnaround by TNC there, and they didn't even prioritize the attack direction of the wards directly for so long. The tower is living on 16 HP.
It's hanging in there. Barely, but they'll take that.
That was the Armel buyback as well.
They had to. That was the hoorah. Like, if they lose the fight there, they lose the entire game.
Yes. And Detonator perhaps just a little bit too enthusiastic, I would say. They commit everything, and then some of TNC's heroes actually survived the first blast.
RR? The Primal got committed here. Timbersaur's low on mana. That's what they're identifying. They're trying to burn him up so he can't actually escape. But it's a very hard ask. It's just going to go over the TP in time, and RR does not have telekinesis. Primal Roar wasted.
He does have the Timber Chain.
I mean, that's true, but they used their Primal Roar on that. Didn't get anything for it.
Short CD.
Wink. It's not the shortest cooldown, though. Let's be real. It's 80 seconds still, which means TNC, they can wipe their brow and go, okay, they're not going to gank us for that chunk of time.
No, that's true. But have you ever looked at the amount of time that it takes to cross the map? It's to get anywhere of significance, you're usually looking at like a 20 to 30 second time investment. It would mean that he'd have to smoke immediately after using the spell in order for it to, you know, not matter. And almost nobody would do that anyway.
Now, there is a smoke from TNC, but I like that efficiency play by Real. He saw the Hawk. Midas, right? The gold's coming to his base.
So It's straight up in there.
Rest in peace, Power, as the boars, they strike.
Sam H.
At some point, Sam just went, what? Why is that tower still up? Just poke at once. I don't even care about backdoor at this stage.
I have no idea why TNC didn't just deny that.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice, and one that was punished. And now you can already see the move from Detonators, identifying that actually next fight could easily decide when they want to just wrap up by getting rid of that tier 2, that last remainder of TNC's out defenses, which then, if TNC make one mistake, they lose the entire base.
Yes, and their aggressive vision is much better this time. Sam H can do whatever he wants in his jungle because he has his great vision up on the lower hill. Just cleaned up some camps, moving out now, and he is getting dewarded, but they already got the value out of that, and his team is setting up for top lane now. So they got the 2 waves in, they got mid pushing automatically, which is great. If you have a choice, always take mid racks first. Always.
Yeah, because then, to bring back Benny Hills again, it becomes that game. You just play the split push, they have to commit one side, they lose the other.
And TNC smoked up.
Yeah,
They're coming from the flank.
They are. The split's going to come out, and they have the high ground. They're going to move, and Benny is going to get low. Chain Frost bouncing through. BKB coming out from Rage and Protect, trying to fight with his Armel, getting way too low from the damage. He needs to move away quicker. He can't, though. He's going to go down. Sam H stands in the chat room, but doesn't even care. And Gabby, primal roar to the spot. The shackles afterwards. He's going to go down. They find 4 as the Never Ward proc kills Ninja Boogie. He falls on his own sword. Rio running away with his tail between his legs as it is looking grim for TNC.
Oh, and that fight started so well. They blow up the Pugna immediately, but they need to commit forward so far in order to get that kill, and the Terrorblade can just stand his ground and wipe the floor with him.
It's Terrorblade land. He does whatever he wants. Now, Rio, that's pretty aggressive. He does have the buyback if things go wrong, but now Reflection coming out. Looking on Rage and Potato. He still has the Sun to work with. The Gaze dragging him, but they don't do enough damage. He can turn around. Gabby, low on HP, shackled up. He's going to go down now.
Oh, no.
And that man doesn't have buyback.
Oh. Excellent choice by Detonator there. Not going for the Brewmaster, who's the first to jump, but they wait for the second.
And Sam H, he's kind of baiting Rio in. The shackles are going to be there. Glimmer Cape protects onto the Brewmaster. Hex onto the Terrorblade, just to stop him from attacking the shackles. Tims, can he do enough here? The lift. Oh no, Brewmaster down. Instant buyback coming out.
This game
shackles?
over.
Tims?
Look at that
Tims?
range.
What are you doing?
Hey, Tims had to buy an Aether Lens, and he didn't have that much range.
And RR, he's going to be punished for what he just done here, but he'll be happy with what he achieved. But Rage and Potato coming back in. Benny is here now. Rio being slowed down. Decrepify their reflection, slowing him down as well. He'll blink away in time, though, as a result of that. And Armel being haunted by his own reflection here.
Aren't we all when we look in the mirror in the morning?
All right, that's just a little bit too deep for me.
Sorry. Sorry. I know it's...
But not as deep as Detonators are probably going to dive in a second just to finish this game. If TNC, if they show any weakness...
The cooldowns on TNC are not that long anymore, and Armel is finally starting to do the morph into Pugna thing, which is, like, Pugna is one of those heroes that's also a very good morph target.
When you're being defensive, absolutely.
Yes. Just get that Nether Ward down, plop it on the floor.
That's all about the Rubik morph. Arcane Supremacy.
Ooh.
Right? Just imagine if this game went different and we had a shotgun morphling right now.
A shotgun Rubik, you'd say?
Yes. And it would be a horrifying story, but you know what? That is a different timeline
well,
in which the
Rubik
Green Boys win.
Is building a Ghost Scepter.
Doing it himself.
Is he?
Oh, nah, he's just
like,
getting it for the protection.
For core Rubik, though, I want to see that. For sure. E-Blade, core morph with core Rubik? Hell yes.
I mean, how good is your int gain? 2.7 is not the highest. I think that's why like most people wouldn't think about it, per se. But I can see where you come from, like with the stolen spells and everything else. Like,
yes.
It would be good damage. It's like most people try and justify that with, like, you either need agility or you have a good gain of your primary stat.
I have a...
Oh, no.
Oh.
He actually waveformed out as it respawned. Whoops.
Oopsie. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm inspired by a good friend of mine who is a Sand King spammer and who goes a blink into E-Blade when he's having a good game. And the ultimate damage you can deal with that is absolutely ridiculous. It allows him to just keep up with the curve instead of falling behind and having to move into utility.
I mean, you could just have the Pugna build one. He's gone for the Dagon instead. So, you know. Ephiro, Decrepify. Ephiro. I believe they do stack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it still works that way. even though they're two forms of ethereal. Alright, Raging Potato. Smoked in the base. Sticky move. Time to knock on these buildings. Glyph comes out straight away, and actually TNC needs to get back. They'll have enough time with that Glyph. Rest of the team are running down right now. Armel.
Enough time for what?
Turns in Terrorblade to watch your buildings die, because they've already lost the melee racks, give the range racks as well. And Dennis, they don't even get punished for this. They just walk out of the base.
Very clever move. I really like the way, like the very disciplined, coordinated way that they're closing this game out. They have this Pugna pushing out lanes.
It's more important than that, Kips. There's a rune in the river. And it did get pinged.
But
And TNC
TNC
they are rushing.
Is rushing there, and not just, they are also rushing towards Roche.
They are indeed. Can they do it on the back foot? They've already lost the Shaman. No, the backstab that comes out. Raging Potato says thank you very much for pointing out what's happening here.
I think they have to fight here.
They have no choice. They have to go in with the DD as their best opportunity. The split's going to come for Rio in time. Now the stun's out. Same's taking a lot of damage. Armel just sniping him out. Waves form straight to the other side. RR going down as well. Armel hits pretty damn hard right now. The BKB from Raging Potato is completely defensive. Fly Solo's going to be found as well. They move through. The Chakram comes out, and suddenly Undying has nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. They have secured the pit. They will look back towards it as the DD still has a decent duration left. They'll be able to find Roche in time.
Here's the buybacks. That was very necessary.
But you have no Metamorphosis. This is the problem.
DD Ray is running out though, and your most potent combo, which is Pugna and Rubik, is
They're
online.
moving in.
Now.
Chain Frost. Raging Potato distract on the side. Life Drain gets one kill, but no. The Roche hasn't been picked up. Gabby, he gets his hands on the Aegis. That wasn't the one you want to give it to. Primal Roar under him, and Morphling is already dead. When Timbersaw comes up, he has no easy way out of this either. Buyback out on the Morphling. Gabby will make his escape with the Timber Chain, but RR moving forward. He has the lift coming off cooldown too. Gabby has no easy way out of this. Going to go for the TP. No, no! RR, it doesn't matter. He still has the vision with the Hawks. They'll be able to find the kill, and the Timber tries to escape, but it's too damn late. It's an ultra kill for the Pugna.
I am very impressed by Detonator there. They made a couple of very hard choices. You know, you really don't want to buy back when you get the feeling you're ahead, you are winning this game, and the enemy team does this turnaround move. But TNC is all out of buybacks. They're all out of racks. You should just go for that fight. And they take it. They make sure that the Aegis gets on the wrong hero. Armel has only one life now, and he is all on his own, safe for Tims. And Tims does not outrank.
Oh, and that's it. GG comes out. They know they cannot do anything against what Detonators have achieved here.
Oh.
And wow. What more can you actually... What am I doing? Wrong scenes. Studio mode meant to be on. Bad studio mode. What can you actually say about that though? Detonators. They strike back.
I do not fault you for having a little bit of a scrambled brain after that match, because I know I was watching that going, TNC? I don't think you recognize how much trouble you're in. You need to build, as I said, Rubik, Pugna, they feel extremely useless once the enemy has BKBs. But who are you going to build BKBs on this game? You have all these items that you want first. You want the Vlads on Rior, but you want a Midas first. You have Armel, who would rather never build a BKB until he's like, well, I guess I have a last slot to fill. You have Gabby, who would also rather just rely on his innate tankiness, and it just blow everyone sky high.
And that's kind of the thing that, like, especially, I think TNC's opportunity was that road fight. Like you said, they just needed to commit. They needed to be fully aware of what was happening. They couldn't go, oh, we need a backup plan, because that was it.
Yeah.
The initial move, picking up that DD so quickly, that was on point. That movement was smooth. That was correct. What happened next was where it all fell apart. You could see they couldn't decide if they wanted to do Roche or if they wanted to regroup. And by the time they were ready to make a choice, Detonators had already made the pickoff. They found the Shaman on the back foot, and then it's like, we're being backstabbed. They find a good fight, but then Detonators, they bounce back in, even without the Metamorphosis. And you know what that is more than anything else? Good old Arcane Supremacy. Love that spell.
Good old.
Good old. It's old now. It's a classic. It's never leaving, Kips.
Ooh.
I mean, it did make the difference,
it
though.
could get, like, toned down a little bit.
I think it might, because what we saw in that Roche pit is the Primal Roar being in similar range of effectivity to what a telekinesis lift was.
Yes.
And that is why you saw Gabby picking up that Aegis. That wasn't a choice that he had. He just had to do it.
He was the only one that could move in that moment. I have to say, though, that this game could have been way better for TNC if Gabi had made other item decisions, other fight decisions, if he had actually resigned himself to this game is going to be hard. And I think that thought really came in too late for TNC.
But that does mean that all too familiar for you, Kips. TNC take game 1. Detonators take game 2.
I don't mind. This was a really fun game to watch.
This was indeed very fun. And now Kips, she won't admit it, but she's going to be biting her nails to see whether her boys... Well, she says she's got boys on both sides. She doesn't care too much. But see if TNC can take game 3, or if Detonators are just going to repeat the upset for the Predators of yesterday. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back in a few minutes to discover how that one's going to resolve.